Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope everyone has had a wonderful day. I'm a little under the weather tonight, so it may not be as long of a stream as normal. Um, so bear with me. Um, Also, if you haven't joined yet, I have a Discord. You should find that link on my About Me page. So as the title says, we're going to be doing calligraphy tonight. I'm going to show some of the tools I use, go into a little bit of it, show some lettering, how to make, the lettering and everything. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. All right. Alright, so already you see some of the tools I use. Make sure you always have paper towels, because there are going to be messes. Forget the craft dust, it is over 20 years old. Still works, so that's what we have. You are probably also going to want to have, if I have it, just a little bit of newspaper to put down if you're new to it and everything, because spills will happen. Now there's different kind of pens to use for calligraphy. You have your standard dip pen, and these have, I'm not sure if you can see it, a little round cut, and that is so you can put in your nibs. As I drop it, they're very small. That's what a calligraphy nib will look like. Now they have different sizes and different styles. These people use for art or just regular lettering. Ooh, I can pick up the other one. And then there's another one. Now these, I'll show the back side, and then the back side of these are a little different than the ones you see the typical calligraphy lettering. As you can see, there's an extra little part there, and I think that's just to hold a little bit of extra ink. So, the next type are your fountain pens. Oh. And you just put like an ink cartridge in there. Now I believe I have an ink cartridge handy. I never have a lot of luck with these. Other people do. I'm making a lot of noise here, sorry about that. How does this open? I can just pull one out. These are the types of cartridges that you can put in them. You can get them in different colors and everything like that. They also have something that's really kind of cool. If you get the India ink, which is what I normally suggest using, it's a better quality. I just have this here right now. But you can draw out ink by pulling this little plunger there like that, and it'll draw up the ink. You snap it into your little receptacle there. Screw on the base, and then you can start. These are quite nice. Then you also have your markers. These, the edges do wear down eventually. But there's a wide tip and then a finer tip that comes on this one. All these things you can order online, or get at, certain craft stores and stuff like that. Now I ordered a larger pack, and it comes with a variety of colors with the markers. So if I'm just doing a quick small project, I'll use those. For tonight, like I said, I'm going to be using the dip version. So I'll just put my nib in. And we'll have that. Now you also notice I'll have this little blue cup of liquid here. That is my nib cleaner. Very important to keep your nibs clean. They do gum up and all kinds of messes ensue. So I usually try to clean them right after I use them. Sometimes also the ink will dry if you're doing a long project. And you'll just need to dip it in there and use your paper towels to clean them off. All right, let's get into paper. There's a lot of different kinds of paper. Typically, you're going to want to get the parchment paper. Oh, that's in reverse. I'm sorry about that. I gotta figure out how to fix that. And it's just a type of paper, but calligraphy does very well on that. And I'm not sure if you guys can see that. But there's different styles and different weights of parchment. It's not like the parchment you cook with. This came along with a set I bought, and it's just practice parchment, so you're not using your good parchment paper. I'll show you this is the calligraphy set I ordered online, oh gosh, years ago. And you'll see right here is all the different nibs, and you can tell I've used it a lot. But here are some of the colors that came with it and everything. I of course used up the black fastest because that's normally the most used color, typically with projects and stuff. Okay, so when I practice, I get these cool little, and especially when you're starting out, they help out. I just get these little, you know how when you teach your kids how to write, they have these lined paper, and I just normally get those and work with those. So I have a couple of them to play with, because sometimes, life gets in the way, and you wind up not doing a craft for a while, and you kind of get out of hand, and not used to doing it anymore. So it's nice to have these around. Now, mind you, it's been a while since I've done calligraphy, so it's going to, probably look horrible at first for me when I start doing my first letters. Now, the important thing with calligraphy pens, I was taught how to do this in middle school, probably about 6th or 7th grade, is to make sure that you keep your nib at a 45-degree angle and don't do long upstrokes, because that will wind up eventually ruining your nib. I know people have different school of thought, but I'm not sure if you can see that. No, camera won't focus, of course. But there's a very fine, thin piece of metal right there, and it has like 3 little slits on the length here. Oh, yep, trying to get used to this. And yeah, Also, when you go up, sometimes that'll cause the, I guess you call them a metal fan, I guess, will sometimes also splatter. So yeah, you need to be careful, you know, if you want a nice clean project. You definitely don't want splatters and messes. Um, it can be a little bit of a hard, actually I'm going to switch to the bigger grip. I have a couple of these. Um, Alright, I'm going to go in. Yep. There. I like to have ones with grips. It helps just with my hands a little bit better. So also when you're doing dip version of calligraphy with the dip pens, you're going to want to be careful how much ink you pull up, because that can also cause bleeding and just a huge mess. So what I'll do typically is dip and then wipe off some of it on the inside of the bottle. All right, so you take your pen and you just dip a little bit. Wipe her off. Now there are books and instructions online too in different styles. I'm just going to do a simple style for tonight, for different font styles for calligraphy. And again, remember to just simple strokes. Yeah, it's definitely been a while. And of course, it doesn't help you guys seeing it upside down and in reverse. But this is just a basic style for starters. I do have some that I've created on my own. And you can absolutely do that. But you also notice how I'll pick up the pen. Oh, need some more ink. I wish this wasn't upside down and backwards for you guys. But like with the C, you just do your top curve, bring her around. I think the hardest part is remembering to keep that 45-degree angle. Sometimes really ornate letters will require you to lift your pen up like 8 or 9 times. So, but that's something you can get down in, into down the road. Oh, come on. I know I just picked up some. And again, if you have any questions or anything like that, yeah, you guys can tell it's been a while for me. My letters are not coming out the greatest. And it's pretty easy to, get a little ornate with your letterings. Like for the G here, you can just add some extra once you form the letter, you can just I know it's backwards, but you know, it's you can play with stuff and everything. I'm going to clean the nib and I will show you some of the and yes, you will probably get ink on you. What I use and is usually pretty inexpensive to buy is cheap Windex cleaner. It seems to work rather well. And let's see here. Show you some books. Where my folder went. This is a booklet that came with one of my sets. And you know, it goes into, you know, how to hold your pen, the different strokes and stuff like that. So it's really nice. You can also find websites that show the different styles and fonts and teaching and everything. There's an example of someone's artwork. So yeah, it can be really nice and a lot of fun. It can be time consuming until you get really used to it. But yeah, there's some examples on how to do different things. Now the nib I used there was a C2. Let's get a little bit of a bigger one. This is a C1. And then you'll just notice a slight difference. Yeah, the higher the numbers get, the smaller the nibs get. So that's like a, or no, the higher the number, the smaller the nibs get. That's a C4. And I will just do a G right next to this one so you can see. Oh. It's just a little bit wider. Yeah, I'm definitely out of practice. You don't want to put a lot of heavy pressure down on the pen. Now the K's I've always had issues with. I don't know why. Well, that one didn't turn out too bad. And sometimes what I'll do is if I'm having issues with a certain letter, I'll just take one of these whole sheets and practice. Because with this, definitely, you know, practice eventually makes perfect. I don't know if I like that. There we go. Definitely need to get some more black ink. Oh, a little bit too much on that. Now you can see here a little bit, maybe, I got a little bit too much ink on them. So, we really wanna yeah, even with wiping it off. Oh, I don't like that cue. So I know it's Wednesday. We're halfway through our week. Yeah, I need to work on my R's too. Anyone have any fun plans for the weekend? I don't really have any. Probably just relax, catch up on some housework. And like my last video, if you weren't able to make it when I did this live, there will be a video up so that you can take a look at it, you know, just see you know, what's it about, and you know, and get some ideas. Like I said, this is a very very simple font. Oh, didn't really leave enough space for me to do my Y's and Z's on this level, but that's alright. When doing a project, I'm normally very more planned out. because there. So, you know, that's just a simple view on just how to do some simple letters. Like I said, remember, you know, 45-degree angle with your pen. Don't do long strokes upward, and don't put a lot of pressure when you're doing the letters, because that will tear your, not only tear your parchment, but it'll destroy your nib. Alright. Now I'll show some examples of what I printed off to practice. Now you also want to be careful, because depending on how much ink was put on the page, it can take a little bit for your ink to dry, so just be careful. You'll want to set it somewhere just to let it dry for a few minutes. Typically a good thing to do. Yeah, see, I've already got some ink there. That's alright, I'll clean that up after. Alright. Now this folder I have had since I started doing calligraphy, and it just holds a lot of different things in. You know, it talks about letter formation and the like. This is one of the first ones I fell in love with, to try and figure out how to do. And then now these were all things that my 6th or 7th grade teacher had printed off for us, as examples and stuff, and that's an example of a palette, and how you can get kind of creative with flourishes and the like. But also, I'm not sure if you guys can really, on this one, you might not be able to see it, but there's the numbers, and it just shows you in what order to do your strokes. And then there's the lowercase. So that was really cool. I believe she probably had a book that she copied stuff off of, and I wish I could find that book, because there are more examples that I absolutely love. And these are just some extra copies, because I actually had live classes where I had students, and I photocopy stuff for them. And like I said, as you can see from the ink stains, you will get messy. Okay, let's see here if I can find the font style I am currently learning. Oh, I might not have a good example of it. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it gets very fancy. Very, very fancy quickly. I'm actually going to put that at the beginning. Now, also, something that's fun. Yeah, this one's called Themes. That's a different style. If you have projects where you're using parchment paper, you can draw, if you don't feel comfortable doing it freehand, just on a blank piece of paper, you can trace lined paper with a marker so that it'll come through your parchment paper. Let's see here, I can show you. And I typically like to use clips of paper, paper clips. Yeah, clips of paper, paper clips, and that'll allow you to, if I can separate, it'll allow you to put that underneath, and you'll be able to see those lines. That's a little bit of a cheat, but it does make for a nice final project. Now this is like white parchment paper. I also have the aged, and it's just a little bit of a tan yellowish look to it. You can get all sorts of different colors. Just really, yeah, I'll keep that there. All sorts of other. Now, this is probably my 6th grade attempt. We're talking more years than I care to admit, but that was me playing when I was younger. And that's the attempt at my things. So we're talking, you know, over 30 years ago. I feel old. So, but yeah. And we had a project where you saw where in that book it showed a pretty picture and everything. We had a project. She gave us graph paper to have a saying, and that was my test trial of doing that. So, yeah. But yeah, calligraphy can be a lot of fun. Those who scrapbook, that's a great addition to your scrapbooking. People also do it professionally to make invitations and other things, so poetry or whatever you name it. They do pieces of art for people as a living. Unfortunately, it is a little bit of a lost art, or becoming a lost art. So that's why I figured I'd teach it to you all tonight. I'm just making a bigger mess. Yeah, see? But it does clean up pretty easily. I should probably get something different than the water I've been dipping in to clean this. That's probably half my problem. But good to have paper towels. Oh, there I go, making a mess. Yeah, I'll get some cleaner and clean that up in a bit. But I want to thank everybody tonight for coming in and joining me, and those who will watch it later. I thank you to the lurkers. As I said, this is going to be a short stream tonight, and I'm probably going to raid a very good friend of mine if he is still on. I'm going to check that out. Very sweet person, and he is part of an amazing community. Yep, he's still on. That's good to know. Let's see if we clean up a little bit here. Also, again, I have a Discord. So I will post in there probably what the next projects will be. Also, there's, you know, a members, section for different things and everything. We have foodies and other fun stuff. Also a self-promote location, so please, if you stream, use that. I love supporting other streamers. So when we go over to this other gentleman, please show him some love. He's, like I said, an absolutely amazing streamer. And make sure to give him a follow as well. I believe he's playing Overwatch right now. So, again, thank you all very much for joining. I hope you have a wonderful night. And I believe the next craft we're going to be doing on Friday is going to be paper beads. Y'all have a great night, and thank you for joining.